Glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. You'll be all right. Don't worry. Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Don't forget, if you're listening on the radio, make sure you kind of like be tuned into the radio too. We've got lots and lots of guests today, and I'm sorry if I'm in a shabby way or whatever. But there you go. It's hot here in England, in the southwest, and yes, and it's been a nightmare. Put it that way. Anyway, I have got. Did I call you Angela? Angela,
Yeah,
did I?
Angela, that is
Yeah,
perfect.
brilliant, brilliant. And and you are kind of like a business strategist coach. Is that right? Tell us a
Yeah,
bit about yourself.
yeah. So I work with a service provider, service-based entrepreneur, and I help them grow and scale through speaking events. So we do live launches, we do webinars, masterclasses, and we also scale the offer. So I help them sell to many people at the same time and serve many people at the same time. So I help them grow. And as you can hear, English isn't my first language. So I am from Sweden. I work in English though, and I live in Italy, actually out on Sicily. But I travel full time, so I'm just going to be here until October, and then I'm going to go off to Mexico. So I'm actually a former truck driver, and I started my online business while I was working as a truck driver, and I built my first fitness business while working and recorded all my live launches and stuff like that in the truck, in the cabin in the truck. So I usually work a lot with imperfect action, that things doesn't need to be perfect. And that is why I love speaking, because it's so simple to attract an audience by speaking.
Yeah, yeah. We have a lot of people on here, and from all different backgrounds of life. We have business people on here. We have lots, and we started this 2 years ago, and we've done quite well. I think we got over around about 70,000 listeners now. You know
And
what I
that is
mean? So
amazing.
yeah, that's a really good thing. Now the trouble is, let's get back to because I've never kind of like we never met before or talked before. So truck driver, what made you become a truck driver?
Oh, so that is kind of a long, long story, because I was a truck driver for 15 years, but I started out as a car mechanic when I quit, kind of, or went through high school, or whatever you want to call it in Sweden, and I took a job at the Swedish car inspection, and I was one of 13 female car inspectors in Sweden, and this was 1996 and 2004. And when I was a car inspector, I got my driver's license for heavy truck and for buses as well, because we needed those kind of license to be able to do our job. And in 2005, I quit working there, and I just started to drive. And one thing led to another. And the thing is, with truck driving, I think if there is any truck drivers listening, you know that it's really hard to quit, because it's a certain lifestyle, right? It's a certain lifestyle, living in the truck, driving on your own, unloading, loading. And I had the opportunity to drive Europe's most beautiful truck, and I went to truck events all over Europe. So I'm well known in the trucking industry in Europe. So that was actually, it was a simple way out of the Swedish car inspection, and then I just got hooked, and I was kind of good at it. So I actually just quit driving. I think it's about 3 years ago, when I had built my first online business that was in health and wellness. I built an app, a fitness app, because fitness is a passion of mine. So I started my career, online career, living in the truck, recording everything in the truck. I live in the truck from Sunday to Thursday, Friday every week, and
Oh,
everything, the business I built from the cabin. And I spent, of course, weekends building my business. So
the
that is how
trouble
I
is,
became a truck driver.
the trouble is, so when you just told me, I just felt, well, but I know a lot of women um, drivers
Yeah.
and truck drivers, and good on you for doing that. But I would be scared because um, a female going out being a truck driver, and going out for the night, spending your time in a cab and everything. You must have you had airy moments where like people try to come up to you and
No, actually, absolutely not. And I think it's if they want to steal something, it's usually the cargo in itself. So they open the car,
mm,
they check the cargo and stuff like that. But I actually never been scared for my own safety. And even if I have parked in the middle of the woods or wherever, so I've been all alone. And in the most truck stops, I mean, there is a lot of trucks and everyone kind of looks out for each other. So no, I have never ever been approached. I have never ever been scared or have
mm.
any kind of problem because I'm a female. So no, I can't say that.
What I
And
meant was, yeah, what I meant was, if I was female, and you're in the truck, and there's a lot of other truckers around, especially men. Sometimes you know what men are like. They just kind of
mm,
like say, "Oh, there's a pretty woman in front of me," and that's it. So you didn't have any of that then. You didn't have any.
no,
Mm,
absolutely not. And I think it's also because truckers are truckers, and truckers don't kind of look down or what I in my own experience, and I can only talk about. I mean, Europe and Sweden. I have been driving to Italy a couple of times, so I can't speak for the rest of the world. Of course, I can
no,
only
no,
talk
no.
my own experience and other truckers, no, absolutely not.
Yeah,
Never had anyone approach me in an in what do you say, in unapproachable or
inappropriate. Yeah, yeah,
inappropriate way or anything. I have
yeah.
never ever experienced any kind of that I shouldn't be good enough, because I was usually way better than them because I really mastered truck driving. So I was a really good trucker, and I could master that truck, and
What's
I'm
it?
also
What's
have a train certificate.
what's it like? Actually, kind of like actually sleeping in a truck.
It's small. I mean, I don't know if you have any US listener, because the US trucks, they are huge inside, but in Europe we don't have that because we have a small cabin, and we have 25. We can be up to 25 meters. So you want to have a small cabin so you can load as much as possible, right? So we only have like an 80 centimeter, 90 centimeters bed behind us, right? So yeah, it's kind of a small, but it's a certain lifestyle, and you actually don't need more space. But so you don't need more space.
How about
That's a
going to the
certain
how
lifestyle.
about going to the toilet and everything?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
How about going to the how about going to the loo and everything? To the
Yeah, that is
toilet and
why
stuff.
you need to park at either truck stops, either companies or stuff like that, or where you can have a toilet. But there was not always that I had the opportunity to have a shower. So when I recorded my first for my business, and I did my first live launches living in the truck, sometimes I hadn't showered for 2 days because there were no opportunities, and I was in the middle of nowhere. So it was what it was. It was kind of imperfect action, but I guess that is the backflip with being on the road is there is not enough accessibility to showers and stuff like that, and especially in the summer when all the tourists with caravans and stuff like that are parking everywhere, right? So you're having a hard time, and then the drive, how much you're allowed to drive, and you need to sleep is really regulated. So you have huge fines if you're not following it, right? So it's
Right.
kind of stressful environment because the clock is ticking, and you need to park because otherwise you get a fine, but there is no place to park where you feel you can take a shower or eat or whatever. So unfortunately, that is was one reason I wanted to quit, was the stress when it comes down to that, because you have a huge pressure not only huge responsibility because you have a huge truck and you weigh a lot of tons, you also have a stressful environment with everything that is going on, because the drive and the drive time and the sleep time is so regulated, and there is huge fines if you do not apply to those times. So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is the reason
yeah.
why I want to. So it's not just driving around. You have a huge pressure, and I don't think a lot of people understand the pressure you're actually under when being a truck driver. It looks like you just drive around, but you are on a schedule for minutes when driving. So it's kind of a stressful environment. So that is one reason I really wanted to quit, and I started to
Right.
work on my
Okay.
online business. Yeah.
Let's go forward now. Um, but it was intriguing to kind of
Yeah.
like know about the
Yeah,
truck
I know.
driving.
A lot of people love the stories. There is a lot of stories, so people love to hear them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be really interesting. So you finished truck driving, then you took up your business. What did you take up your business for? What did you do it?
First, it was I will have always have a passion for fitness, but also dancing. So I'm a salsa dancer, and I love to travel, and I really wanted the laptop lifestyle. You know, be able to work from wherever I was, and I could travel, I could work, I didn't need to own a lot of stuff. I could be kind of a free spirit because I don't feel attached to a place. So the main reason was actually I wanted my own time, and I wanted to be free in whatever I wanted to do. I wanted to work whenever I wanted. I wanted to be able to travel wherever I wanted. And that was the main reason, actually. It wasn't kind of the money first that I wanted to, oh, I'm going to be rich working online. It was freedom of time. That was the main reason why I wanted to work online. And then it took me some time to get there and to make it work. But the main reason was that, yeah.
Yeah. Tell us a bit about your academy, because you do have academy. You have. Tell us about that.
Excuse me, I think the audio disappeared a little bit there.
Yeah. Sorry. Tell us about your academy, because you got academy, ain't you?
A what?
Oh, sorry. Hang on for a second. We're having problems with the audio. Sorry.
Yeah,
Um,
I think,
you on your website, you got to scale your business. You need to
yeah.
be crystal clear. Um, Tell us about that. Do you think people are kind of like actually good into business, but they don't know what to do? What do you say about that?
Yeah, so the main thing is that when we don't when we are not clear in what we want to do, or we are not clear in our messaging when we want to attract people or speak to people, people get confused, and confused people don't take action. So the first step that we kind of work on is to be is clarification, to be clear in who we want to help, how we're going to help them, what kind of problems do they have, what kind of problems can I solve, what kind of outcome do they want, and bring that into our offer and message. Because a confused audience doesn't get attracted by you. People are kind of all over the place, and when we try to do everything at once, we don't actually do anything because it becomes too much. So we don't focus on being clear. We are just all over the place and kind of struggle to make it work. So to be clear in what you actually want to do, who you want to help, and then go out and start talk to people. That is the first step, and get kind of clear in our messaging and the way we want to attract an audience, who that person is that we want to work with, so we can attract that person, but also based on your own beliefs and convictions. So you can tie it back to what you really strongly believe in. So you can bring that into your messaging as well, because it's important to help people in a way that you strongly believe is the superior way to help those people, right? So it's a lot of clarification that usually is one huge part why a lot of people are struggling, because we jump all over the place. We kind of
Yeah,
dabbling around, we chase the next shiny object, those kind of things. And everyone that works online can kind of relate to that. Maybe not in their where they are today, but when they started out or on their way of growing.
Yeah, yeah. So what kind of plans do you have that's available where people can come and join and get the help they deserve?
Yeah, so I have kind of a different entry level. So I have one entry level that is for people that actually starting out. So they want to kind of start working online, and that is more of like a membership, and we work month by month. And then I have a large incubator for people that are ready to scale. So they might earn a couple of thousand per month, but I want to scale to 5-figure month, and that is the next step for a lot of my clients. And then, of course, I have two other small program that is more specific. It's one where we built a live launch, and we built a challenge, a speaking event, and one that we focus only on marketing. So those are kind of two small programs. And I have a membership that is a lower entry level and one higher entry level that is more suitable for people that already work with clients. So they're not brand new. That is the offers that I work with.
Right, okay. And when somebody comes to you in the beginning, say like a new customer, say, a new client, and they come up to you and they go, right, Angela, I want to build my own business. What kind of advice do you give them?
The first thing I advice that I can give to people is to make it simple and do not complicate things, because to do things complicated is kind of a pitfall for new entrepreneurs because we get overwhelmed. And I see a lot of entrepreneurs wanting to kind of invest or grow or stuff like that with a lot of complicated tech, when actually we need to start have a conversation with people, and you need to start working with people. And so I would say do it as simplicity. And I love the word simplicity. That is my word. I love simplicity, and that is the biggest advice I can give to people, to have to do things as simple as possible. Don't make things more complicated than they are. And we usually do it. We overthink, we get stuck, we invest in a lot of technical stuff in the beginning before we
Mm,
even have one client. If we switch focused and actually focused on who do you want to help, and start go out there and start conversation with those people, and start enrolling those kind of people and help them, it's going to be way smoother in the beginning. A lot of entrepreneurs get stuck because of tech, um, um, building that, like I did when I started out. I started out by building myself an app, the worst possible thing you can do, because it was so complicated and I couldn't afford to hire someone, right? So I needed to learn how to do it. I needed to do it my own. I needed to make it work, and then I needed to sell it. And I spent a lot of time, so, and a lot of money, of course. So
mm.
simplicity, make things simple. So when I enroll clients that are just starting out, we start by looking who they want to help, and what kind of beliefs and conviction they have. How do they want to help these people? What is their problem they can solve? And then we go out and start have conversation with those people. That is the basic that we start with if you start from absolutely zero.
And that's good because the trouble is with your plans, you do make it simple for people. You
Yeah.
know, you look at other people, Angela, and you're thinking, oh my God, this what they're doing. It's I've talked to loads of people, and sometimes I look on their websites and I'm thinking, why are they trying to make it hard for themselves? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's so simple, and I like it because when on your website you got simplicity, you got everybody just explaining it all well, and I just looked at it and went, wow, because it's so because it's so easy with marketing. If
Yeah.
people are listening now, and I'm getting feedback, and they're saying about marketing, about going out there to find people. How do they do that? What advice can you give people to go out there and find the right client?
Well, first you want to ask yourself where do I want to work? What platform do I want to work? That is number one, because if you want to work on Facebook, yeah, you need to find your people on Facebook, because I believe most people are on all platforms, but you are in a different mindset when you are visiting the platform. So when you're on Instagram, you scroll to beautiful pictures. When you are on Facebook, it's more communication. And when you are on LinkedIn, you are more in a business work mindset, right? But then it's you just go out and you can use search words. So what I we usually do is that we search in Facebook groups is usually where a lot of my clients start. Most of them are on Facebook, and we might search for are there any groups where these people hang out. That is number one. Number two is to trailblaze, so you can find someone that have the same audience that you have that already runs a business, and then you go and check where do their audience hang out. Do they have a group? And can I join that group? And then you start communicate with people. You can ask questions. You can use the search bar to search for keywords in your business. So let's say I work with women and weight loss, and I trailblaze a weight loss coach, and I join her group with 20,000 members. Then I can start search for. So let's say I just want to help women over 40 that are in menopause. Then I can search for menopause in the search bar and see what kind of discussions that comes up. That is how you can get to know your client, your dream clients kind of well, without you even starting the conversation. And then when you start to find where these people kind of have discussions, you just jump right in and you start talk to people and you start building a conversation. And it's also important to start with content, so you add value to your audience. So when you start the conversation with people and they click on your name, they can find a lot of value that is going to be valuable for them, help them, get them unstuck, tips, inspiration, post, all those kind of things. So sometimes we forget when we are in a service-based business, that is all about serving an audience. And that is something we sometimes forget. So we just do kind of promotion. But you also want to look at when I click on your name, if we have a discussion in a Facebook group and I click on your name and I land on your page, are there a kind of value that show me that you can help me and what you do and what your best tips are? How can you inspire me to take the next step? Those kind of thing. So it always start with content, to have content that is value based, and then conversation, so those people can land on something, right? And then you go further and you of course start engaging with those people, and you can invite them on a call, and so on, in the kind of way to get them into a client.
Do
So
you think do you think we make things complicated on our websites or all our media? We all go on social media, LinkedIn and the rest of it, but sometimes do you find it very difficult? Sometimes do you think that a lot of people make it so difficult for themselves when they're doing anything on social media?
yeah, I think we do. I think it's because, I mean, there is so many people online, and it's so noisy, so we kind of do everything because we try to stand out, so we jump on every trend, we chase the shiny object right away, and we kind
Mm.
of almost do desperate posting with no meaning behind it. And it doesn't need to be so complicated, because if you want to attract an audience, you go back to you, right? And you ask yourself, how can I bring value to my audience? How can I teach them? How can I inspire them? How can I share my own beliefs and opinion in a way that attracts an audience and repel the people that I don't want to work with, and attract the right kind of people? Instead of kind of be all over the place, start focusing on things that actually moves the needle. And when it comes to web pages and funnels or whatever, I think those should be implemented in a business when you have start working with clients, so you are really, really super clear with your messaging. Otherwise, it's going to kind of be like you you built out a web page with all these things message, right? And then you start working with people and you need to redo it because it doesn't really attract the right people, or it's kind of not telling them what you do or what you help. So yeah, we do it way too complicated because we kind of we kind of do chase and try everything, instead of kind of focusing on what can I actually do to stand out, that is kind of tied back to what I really believe in. Because why would I want to do something that is a trend that is not for me, right? Why would I want to go
Mhm.
there just because others are doing it? And then you see all this kind of copy and paste mentality, and I usually ask them, how can you stand out by doing what everybody else is doing? You can't. It's impossible. You need to disrupt the marketing, bring yourself into your marketing, because no one can be you. No one can be you. That is impossible. So the more we copy and paste, the more invisible we become. The more we chase the next person that says, I have 365 posts for you, just copy and paste, you're going to make a lot of money. And then we go over there and we do the same thing all over again. And that is when we end up in a really complicated wheel, with not attracting anyone. And we feel like nothing is working, and all those kind of limiting beliefs comes up, all those kind of things. So yeah, go back to simple. And we usually have three different layers when we do content. So one is teaching people to share value, and one is inspire our audience, our people, to if they get stuck or something, and then share our beliefs, our convictions, our opinions, online, to attract people that are kind of already believers in the solution we provide to them. So yeah, we make it way too complicated. We invest in things we are not ready for, like web pages and stuff like that. Even if we have no idea of who we want to work with, we don't have an offer, we have nothing, but we focus on this, that the mistake that I did myself, of course. We focus on doing things that is not necessary in the beginning. That is something. Everything has its time in a business growth, right?
Yeah. Can you tell me more about the kind of like the day, you know, sorry, tell me more about the day-to-day responsibility of your business then, because you are dealing with clients who, at the end of the day, they are setting their goals and they want to get to where they're going.
Yeah, so one thing that I see a lot, that I talk a lot with my clients, is that your energy, your whatever you have for expectations. So let's say our expectation is to earn 5K a month, for an example. If you're starting out, that might be a good first goal, right? Then the energy you put in to get there needs to match the energy of the outcome. So what I see a lot is that people want this fantastic outcome. We want to earn 10K from our webinar, we want to have clients, new clients a month, but the energy to get there doesn't add up. And that is kind of really hard, because, and unfortunately, this have kind of the mentality online that people are saying it's so easy to grow a business, it's so easy to run, I only work 10 hours a week and I make 100K a month. But no one talks about the sacrifice you need to be able to get there, because it's not easy. It's not easy to run a business online. It's not easy to start. It's not easy to scale. It's uncomfortable to scale. It's not easy to grow. And we need to stop saying it's easy, because it's not. So, what is really important is to know our goal, and then you connect that goal into something that is really important for you. And then you set up a plan. How am I going to get there in the simplest way possible? And then you look at things to make it more simple. So, one thing that not a lot of people use, that is really simple to use, is to repurpose content. The content we write the last month, we can repurpose 75% of it exactly as it is. You can take a video and turn it into a text. You can take a text and turn it into a video without creating new content, right? But we focus on things that doesn't move the needle forward. And I think a really kind of find the simple way to do things and not get caught up in whatever others are doing. Because when you see other people grow, we kind of compare ourselves to them, but you have no idea how many VAs they have. You have no idea how many years they actually been to business. Okay, so I think it's really important to put your blindfolds on and focus on yourself and your own journey, because that is not going to be the same journey as someone else's. But yeah, running a business, you need to have a little bit of mindset. It's not going to be beautiful butterflies, money fall on your lap. There will be ups, there will be downs. You need to take responsibility in your own actions. You need to take responsibility for the outcome in your business. We can't expect 100 people to join our webinar if we don't invite maybe 300 people, you know? So we kind of need to take the responsibility. But unfortunately, a lot of people make it look so easy. So we end up thinking, yeah, we just need to post 3 times and then people will just jump on us. It doesn't work that way. You need to stay consistent and you need to focus and you need to keep consistent no matter what. And that is the hard part. Because as soon as we hit kind of a wall, we jump on something else and we never stay long enough to bring things full cycle to make it actually work. And unfortunately, a lot of entrepreneurs quit at that time. So stay consistent, make things as simple as possible, put your blindfolds on, and take responsibility. Whatever outcome you want, yeah, you need to work for it, because it's not going to be an easy ride. And I'm not,
Yeah,
I will never ever say it's going to be easy, because it's not. That is why I want people to do it as simple as possible.
brilliant. Can I, before you go, can I just ask you to answer some funny interview questions? Is that all right?
Absolutely. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe I can see the comments. I can. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't see. I can see the comments here. Sorry, guys.
How would you describe a sunset to a person who is visually impaired?
I'm sorry again. What did you say? How can you describe a?
Right. How would you describe a sunset to a person who is visually impaired?
Oh, that was a hard question. I'm not sure what impaired means. Remember, my first language isn't English, but if you mean someone that can't see the sunset, I think a sunset is more about a feeling, because you can enjoy a sunset when you just close your eyes.
Good answer. If you were stranded on a desert island, what three items would you take with you and why?
Oh, I guess I don't have electricity, so otherwise I would bring my audiobooks, because I am a audio fanatic. But I guess I would need to bring books, and if I could have a lifetime supply of batteries, I would bring music, because as you know, I'm a dancer, so music would be my second choice, and yeah, then of course, if I would bring people as well, I would bring my son. So I guess that is the 3 things that I would bring.
Brilliant. What do you think is the answer to world peace?
To
What do you think is the answer to world peace?
Oh, that is a too big of a question to answer here. I think there is so many things that is combined usually back to money and power, and I think power is and you want to have power over other people is a huge part of war and conflicts over the world. So one part, there is a lot of things, is the the ability to have power over other people.
Okay, great, great. What animal would you compare yourself to and why?
Oh, I have actually I have no idea. Um, I kind of do. I'm kind of free spirit because, as you know, I don't have kind of a base. I travel all over, so I
Yeah.
guess the best animal would be a bird because they can fly everywhere. And I kind of when I get bored at the place, I just leave. I'm not attached to something specific.
Okay. Name me one pointless product that is on the market today.
One
Pointless product that's on the market.
pointless product
Yeah.
that makes no sense. You mean that makes no sense? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I think there are so many. I think it's just exploding. If you look at Amazon, TikTok, whatever, those kind of things people buy, that is so unnecessary. That does not need to be ever at all used. Usually, they are unfortunately in plastic. So I would say all unnecessary things made out of plastic because it ends up in the ocean. We all know it.
Yeah.
I
If
would
you
say plastic straws. I know that plastic straw is a thing people want, but
oh,
no, you do not need those.
plastic straws, yeah. Okay. We're nearly finished, by the way.
Fun
um,
questions.
yeah, yeah, really good questions, these are. If you were the only survivor in a plane crash, what would you do?
Oh, I have actually had that thought because I travel so much. So I actually would have had I've had that thought, and I think if I had the financial and the power to do it, I would, for all people that were, or all families that were left, I would do whatever I could to help them through their grief, because I have been through a lot of grief in my life. And if I were the only survivor, I think I would feel first of all guilty, because I think everyone would have some kind of guilt. But then you need to see it. Why am I here? Why am I the only one? And you need to make something out of it. I'm sure you need to do it. Whatever is possible for you, because not everyone can do whatever. So how you ever take that new kind of or that opportunity, you need to do something with it. It could be anything, but it's something to, because you would otherwise kind of, why would I spare that? You would feel guilty for the rest of your life. So I think I would do something for the grief of those families that didn't survive.
Okay, I've got two more left.
Yeah.
Then right. Okay, where's the other one? Right. Okay. Um, which film, TV, or book character do you most identify with?
Oh, I'm not really sure. I might not. Actually look. I don't look at TV, so I don't know much about TV shows. Watch a lot of Netflix. So and one show that I do love is what is it called? Grace and Frankie, or Frankie and Grace. I love those kind of when two personalities that we attract the opposite.
Oh yeah, when they clash. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't say I recognize myself with one of them, but I do recognize myself with attracting and be attracted by the opposite. So most of my friends are the opposite of me. So I'm kind of direct. I'm kind of more kind of I go on like a train, and I just say what it is. I hate sugar clouds or pink whatever, those
yeah.
kind of
That's it.
that
You,
kind of, a more direct approach, and I attract the opposite. So a lot of my clients, for an example, are in meditation, yoga, all those kind of, that is a little bit opposite. So I would say that's Siri, because I love when the opposite attract.
okay. If you had a time machine, if you had a time machine, would you choose to go to the future or the past?
I think I actually rather go to the future. I don't think you should change the past. But of course, since I have been through a lot of grief, I would go back and just have some more hours with those people that left. So that is a hard question, because I don't think it's It's not healthy to live in the
Past. Yeah.
past. You need to live in the future because you can't change the past, and I don't think you should. But if you could just go back and then go forward, I would say, because you will always want some more hours with the people you lost. That is the fact.
Yeah, okay. And this one here is if you're alone in the car on a long drive, well, you're used to this. If you are alone in the car or your truck or on a long drive, what do you think about the most?
I don't actually, because I have learned to listen to audiobooks. So when I was a truck driver, I listened to maybe 5 to 6 books a week because I was driving, like I worked 15 or 13 hours per day. So I have learned to listen to the book. So I kind of live in the book for the moment. So I actually don't sit and think when I listen to audiobooks. Because that is, I listen to audiobooks as soon as I put I enter the car, I put on my audiobook, and then I just concentrate on that. So I actually don't sit and think so much. I listen to audiobooks, and I can, if you are a person that kind of falls back into thinking of things that we kind of make you sad or make you feel not good, turn to audiobooks and start learn to listen to them, because it took me some time before I could listen and concentrate on audiobooks. But when you get to that point and you really can kind of absorb a good book, yeah, you're going to be hooked. So that I don't think so much. I listen.
Okay, great, great. Brilliant. Angela, I loved having you on and been a great guest and thank you so much. If
Thank
people
you for
want
being here. Thank you for being asked to come.
and if people want to contact you, how do they do that?
They can just search on my name, Angela Sundust, on Facebook or on whatever platform they are on, or my webpage have the same name. So Angela Sundust, and they will find me because I'm the only one with that name. So
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Angela. Don't forget, please do contact Angela and you never know. And thanks a lot, Angela, for your time today.
thank you so much, and I appreciate everyone that has been watching and that is going to watch this, because I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks.